Test 1, 2. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone out there in the world. Hey, this is your man, Chop Belly, coming to you. Want to say what's going on to everyone who are watching me here on Facebook Live and everyone who's watching me all over on YouTube. I am delighted that you have decided to stop by and share with me. Please feel free at any time during this conversation to put a comment in the chat because I want to hear from you. This morning, we're going to talk about doing unto others what you want done to you. Doing to others what you want done to you. First of all, I want to say to you, make sure you go ahead and follow, become a part of the group, join the group. Hopefully you can hear me well. Do unto others what you want done to you. Also, remember to feel free to make a comment, make a post. When you make a comment or make a post, I can reply to your comment and or post, okay? Doing unto others what you want done to you. That's important. That's important. Why is that important? It's important because if you want good energy coming to you, you have to put it out. If you want good energy coming to you, you have to put that energy out. You can't get what you don't put out. You can't get what you don't put out. Say it with me. You can't get what you don't put out. If you want good things coming to you, you have to put out good things, right? Aristotle and Plato, I know that's going way back, would call that virtue ethics. But Jesus also talked about it. Jesus talked about it in Matthew chapter 7. Matthew chapter 7. Yes, I'm going there this morning. Matthew chapter 7. Jesus says, don't judge others, lest you be judged. Don't judge others, lest you be judged. Why did Jesus say that? That's a good question. For in the way you judge, you will be judged. That's important. So if you want people to be merciful to you, if you want your spouse or your children or your siblings to be merciful to you, you got to extend that to them. You can't be. This is called the law of karma. Some people call it the golden rule. It's the same principle that applies. If you want people to treat you fairly, listen closely. If you want people to treat you fairly, you got to treat them fairly. If you want people to treat you good, you have to treat people good. One of the things that I've learned is that my wife is extremely, she's a great mom, good wife. She's always busy. I remember when she first started Bailey's and she came to me and talked to me about it. And she, said, hey, I think I want to do this. Let's go along for the journey together. She said, I can't do it without you. Let's do it together. I was like, cool. And at that time, we were comfortable. Everything wasn't perfect, but we were comfortable. And then I watched, right? I was in and out because I was, pastoring churches and doing all that kind of thing. But I watched the years of hard work. And eventually it produced something. What she put in is what she got out of it. That's what Jesus was saying. What you want coming to you, you have to put that out. If you put listen, there are people who have money, but they have bad energy. There are people who have money, but they have bad energy. There are people who have money, but they have bad energy, right? So it's do you really want to be around people who have bad energy, even if they have money? Because eventually that's going to come back to you. If you always are worried about somebody robbing you, eventually you'll be robbed. You see how this works? Jesus says this, for whatever you judge, that standard also will be held against you. And the way you do look at the speck, and then he says, why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye when you got one of your own? First, take the log out of your eye so that you can see clearly first. Now, obviously, Jesus was talking about the Pharisees, right? He was talking about the problem with using religion as a weapon to weaponize religion, right? You ever heard that before? People weaponize religion. People weaponize religion for their own purposes so they can get things that they want to get. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me clearly. You and I, we cannot put out bad energy. That's why Jesus says, when you judge people, that same judgment will be given back to you. Think about that. Think about the person that you treated wrong. And think about somehow that stuff has come back to you. Think about it. Right? Think about it. Think about it. Why did that energy come back to you? Why did that come back to you? It came back to you because you put that out into the world. Now, think about the flip side. The flip side of that, if you are merciful, Jesus says you will obtain mercy, right? That's what he says. Here's a good one for you. Jesus says in chapter 7, verse 6, don't give what is holy to the dogs. Do not throw your pearls before swine. You ever heard that one before? You know what that really means? Don't take the thing that is precious and put it in front of people who will devalue it. Listen here, y'all. Listen here. I've learned this and I'm still learning. But truth is, you know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? The truth is, some people don't value you. Chaps, did you just say that? Yes. Some people don't value you. You're trying to win people over who don't want to be won by you. Ooh. Let me write that down. You can't, oh man, that came to me. You can't win people over. I'm not lying to you, y'all. I'm writing. See that? You can't win people over who don't want to be won. Some people are not meant to be won over by you. You're trying to win over the wrong people. You can't win over people who you have been, that's not your assignment. Some people you're not assigned to. They are not part of your mission. And man, I'm still learning that. Be 100% vulnerable and say that I'm still learning that. I'm still learning that there's some people out there that I am not gifted to help. Can't help them. No matter how good I look, or how good I smell, or how nice my car is. Good morning, y'all. No matter how good I am, no matter how perfect I am, let me get close. They ain't for me. And I'm not for them. But the problem is we spend time trying to, and I understand your heart. You want to help people. You want to do the right things, and you want people to like, and you want to be a part of that group. But you ain't meant to be. It's like, think about it. I keep cutting my words off. Sorry, because my brain starts running. But think about it. When you're at a cafeteria, when you're in high school and you went to doing lunchtime, y'all remember doing high school lunchtime? And there were a lot of people in the cafeteria, and there were some people in it. You had the people who was dressed up in all black, the gothers. Remember that? You had all the smart people that sit at one table. You had the athletes to sit at the other table. And then based on, and this is how life works, based on, I'm hitting my table because I want you to hear me clearly. Based on who you related to is where is the table, is the crowd you sat with at the lunch table. But guess what? If you went over and tried to sit with the people in all black, and the gothers, you wouldn't try to sit with the rock and roll. They wouldn't relate to you. You get strange looks. The vibe would be off. Why? Because they not your crowd. They not your people. They not meant for you. But you still trying to dress like them, and you trying to look like them, and you done painted your fingernails black because you want to get, and they looking at you like you ain't part of us. You don't know what we about. You ain't about that life. You ain't about that life. Some people, that's what Jesus meant when he said, don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't take the thing that you consider valuable and put it in front of people who would disvalue. And then you can't expect them. See, what you are expecting blood from a turnip. Ho. You expecting to get something out of the something organically that cannot produce. You can't produce blood from a turnip. Some people you're not meant to reach. Watch this. I just had a thought. Some people you're not meant to marry. Oh, let me pause on that. You think about that for a minute. Chaps, what are you doing? I'm saying some people you're not meant to. Listen, that's one of the reasons why people get divorced. That's one of the topics that I'm talking about on YouTube. I'm putting out a video this week about that. Because people, they get in a relationship, then they realize this ain't the person for me. Me and this person can't connect. Me and this person, I'm not an advocate of divorce. I shouldn't say obviously, but I'm not. But I mean, there are differences, right? I'm not going to get into the details of that because that's not what I'm talking about. But the point is this: you cannot put the precious things in front of people who will devalue. If you're in a relationship, and one of the biggest characteristics that must exist in a relationship is communication. And grown people should be able to talk. Grown people should be able to talk. If you're in a relationship and you guys can't communicate, that's problematic. And you're going to have to figure that out, right? You got to put the work in and get that worked out, right? I like to tell people it's like this: when you go out to dinner and the whole time the person's like this. What does that say? Do they value or disvalue you? Do they value your presence or not? Because they tell you by what has their attention. And if they're always on this, that means this has their attention more than you do. And that means that they do not value who you are nor your presence. Now, chaps, when I run into that, what does that mean? Well, that means that you need to let them know, I just don't like when you do that. And if they're not willing to change, then it could be for one or two reasons. It could be because you do that to them and that's how you make them feel. It could be that they feel like they are being ignored by you, right? This is what I'm talking about real life. This is what you do deal with. This is what I'll deal with. This is what other people deal with. It's the truth of where we are in life. So you have to address that with that person when the time is appropriate. All of this is what Jesus says when he said, don't cast your pearls before swine. And this is Matthew chapter 7, verse 6. Don't cast your pearls before swine. There are some people you're not meant to reach. Stop trying to get with crowds that you're not meant to be a part of. Have you been in a church and had that experience? I hate it. I've had that experience in church. Well, you're in church and there's cliques. Now, here's the deal about church. Every church you go to are people. So you're going to have cliques. You're going to have that. That doesn't mean you should not participate in the church. It means that you should try to break up that group. Right? I think the church should be different about that kind of thing, right? The church should be, the church should be setting that moral virtue, that moral grounding to make things a little bit different, right? To make things not like what you experience out in the world, so to speak, as we like to say. It's the church should be a little bit different or should give a different perspective, right? So number one, don't judge people. What you put out is what comes back to you. Okay. Number two, don't be resentful. Don't be resentful. What is resentful? Resentful in a lot of different ways of thinking. Resentful is like a form of envy. I just can't stand that. I just don't like you. I just don't like you. I can't get with you. Resentful. Don't be resentful. Right? Did I freeze? I think I did. Oh, man. If you're watching me on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Guys, if I froze, I deeply apologize. Let me check real quick. I will say this. I did get some new system stuff this week to try to make things a little bit better. So, because I know how difficult that can be when, let me look real quick and make sure that I'm not totally frozen. Am I? Hey, if you're still there, put a 1 or like or something like that. Let me see. My thing is saying something different. I wonder if the switching back and forth camera probably threw me off. Did that throw y'all off? I do apologize. Okay. All right. I think I'm there. I think I'm live. Tyrone, what's going on, brother? How you doing this morning, my man? Hey, congratulations to you. You still out there hitting them sticks? Right? You still got it the way it needs to be? Yeah, but listen. Hey, man, what I want to say is don't be resentful, right? Don't be out there hating on people, holding grudges against people, holding people hostage because what they did to you when they were 10 and they didn't know any better. Right? That's what Jesus says. He says, forgive others and you will be forgiven. Forgive others and you will be forgiven. You got to be willing to forgive people, because some people, some people don't know what they do hurt you. There's some people who offend you and they didn't even know they offended you. There's some people who say things about you and they didn't even know that they were not intentionally hurting you. They were not intentionally trying to do something to defame you. Now, there are some people who do that. But what Jesus says about that is that you shouldn't return evil for evil, right? So think about this stuff, y'all. Isn't this weird? Isn't this kind of weird? I think so. Why? Because people don't function like this. You got people in your life that don't function like that, right? You got people in your life who do hold grudges. You got people in your life that will hold you to something that you did 20 years ago. You got people in your life that won't let things go. They'll bring it up time and time again. And that's the reality. The reality is that we have people who do that. I have people who do that, right? That's the truth. But Jesus always gave us a different perspective. He always wanted us to do something different. He always wanted us to be different. He always wanted us to change, turn over a new leaf. And you have to, I have to turn over a new leaf. I have to turn over a new leaf. You have to turn over a new leaf, right? You can't live your life that way. And here's why. You can't live your life that way is because the same energy that you put out is what comes back to you. And if you want good energy in your life, you have to put out good energy in the world. That's the law of the universe, right? If you want to get, here how it works. If you want to get in shape, you got to work out. If you want to lose weight, you got to change your diet, right? Right? If you want to be a better golfer, you got to practice, right? You got to get your reps in, right? That's how the universe works. Whatever you put out comes back to you. So if you want good things, you got to put good things out. If you want people to like you, you got to be likable. If you want people to invest into you, you have to give value, right? What does this mean to you? This means to you is that right now, today, I promise you, if you change your perspective and you start doing things a little bit different, you will see difference. You will begin to experience that coming back towards you. If you start forgiving people, you will start receiving forgiveness. If you smile at people, test it out today. Just walk up to someone and smile. When you go to the drive-thru, just smile. When you get your coffee, just smile. Try it. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. I guarantee you, I'm willing to put money on it. I guarantee you, the energy you put out is what comes back to you. That is the wisest thing that Jesus ever said to me. Whatever you put out comes back to you. If you're a suspicious person, guess what? People are going to be suspicious toward you. That is how the world works. Can I get an amen? Can I get a, let's see. Can I get an amen? Can I get a yes, you're right? I know I'm right, even if y'all don't tell me I'm right. Right? I know I'm right, even if y'all don't tell me I am right. Huh? That's what Ice Cube said, right? Huh? Yes. I'm right, even if y'all don't tell me I'm right. So try it today. Again, think about it. Jesus says, be careful how you treat people. Don't judge folks so easily. Give people a break. Why? Because what you put out comes back to you. If you want good, be good. If you want blessings, give blessings. Watch this. Here's something that's powerful. Will change your life. If you want money, give money. I had to take a drink with that. If you want money, give money. Y'all hear me? Is somebody out there? If you want money, give money. If you want blessings, give blessings. That's why Jesus said this. I'm 100% convinced that that's why Jesus said this. That the greatest thing you can learn, that I can learn in life, is to learn how to be a giver. How to be a giver. How to be a giver. So what did I just say? Because I went way too long. I don't know how long I've been going. 25 minutes, almost 26 minutes. Wow. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for coming through, listening. Thank you for spending time with me. For those of you who are watching on demand, what's going on, make sure you go and follow. You can watch on YouTube as well. Check out Next Evolution Podcast on all major podcast platforms. But here's the value. The value is this. Number one, how you judge people, it comes back to you. How you judge people, it comes back to you. There's some people that you are not meant to be around. There's some people that are not on your mission. They're not meant for you to reach. There's some people you're not meant to be in those crowds. Stop trying to be in crowds of people that you're not meant to be with. God has brought you into the world to reach a particular group of people, not everyone. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be resentful. Don't hold grudges, because holding grudges doesn't do anything for you. It literally hurts you in the long run. Don't hold grudges against people, and then forgive people. Learn how to forgive people. Maybe you were taken advantage of in the past. You're going to have to forgive people. I didn't say you forget. I don't think forgiveness and forgetting is the same thing. I think you can have something happen to you and you never forget it, but you don't hold. When Jesus said forgive, he means that don't hold record on them. Don't require that the individual rectify the situation every time you see them or for the rest of their life. In other words, you can't hold it over their head and make them feel guilty about it for the rest of their life. Jesus says, don't do that. Forgive, let people go, release people. Why? Because that energy you put out comes back. That's why Jesus says, if you can't forgive others of their debts, how can we forgive? How can the Father forgive? How can God forgive you of yours? Right? How does our prayer go? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive us our debts as we. When we forgive people, forgiveness comes back. That's the energy. That's the law of karma, right? That's the law of reversibility. I mean, that's the law of cause and effect, right? That's the law of cause. That's scientific. The law of karma is Indian spirituality, right? Do unto others is the way you want to do done to you. That's Judaic spirituality. That's Hebraic spirituality. That's Judaism. That's Christianity, right? I went all around the band to show you this one thing, that in all history, in all society, in all culture throughout the world, this is a virtue ethic that you and I need to incorporate. And I said, how do you work that out? Well, it works out this way. Give whatever you want somebody to give to you, give back to them. Whatever you want to see, give it out. And I promise you, it will make a difference in your life. So listen, I am so glad that y'all have come and stood by listening. I appreciate those of you who come by. I am blessed to have your presence as you've shared with me. I wish you nothing but the best from now and evermore. Please make sure you remember what we talked about and let it be a part of your life. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you. May you experience peace in this life and in the life to come. Y'all on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. Those on Facebook, thanks so much for watching. Those who may be listening to this on a podcast, thanks so much for listening. I look forward to checking out with y'all next Sunday, same time, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. Please make sure you go ahead on and like us on Facebook. This is your man, Chaplain Bailey, coming to you live. Follow us here on the Facebook. If you want to become a part of our private group, Next Evolution Podcast page, you can do that as well. I now have to go and preach. Until next time, peace, chicken grease. And on the way out, I got to give y'all my favorite song on the way out the door. Y'all be good. Stay blessed. Know that you're going to get through the battles and the trials of your life. Stay focused. Stay in the fight. Until next time, always with you, never apart from you. God is closer than you think.